Hello, my name is Scott Hamilton. I'm with Hamilton Financial Planning. Today we're going to talk about gold. Will gold save you? Well, so when I was in graduate school, my professor of economics, Dr. G, he had a story about gold. He said that you should have enough gold coins and sew them into your lining of your jacket so that if you're ever in an unusual situation and you needed to bribe a border guard, you should have those gold coins with you. And I believe that till today. I'm not a big fan of owning a lot of gold, storing it. There's another story about my barber here in Lakeway. When he found out I was a financial advisor, we would, talk about investing and what to do in various different scenarios. And he was always big on storing gold and silver. And I told him, well, if things get really rough, you're not going to need gold and silver so much as you'll need bourbon, beans, and bullets. Those items are easily bartered, easy carried, and useful items. Now, this fella is no longer my barber. He moved to Montana to join the resistance. If you'll remember a decade ago or so, that's when the FBI got in an altercation and there was a few fatalities anyway. So that's the story of the gold barber. So inflation is one of the big reasons why people want to own gold. They believe it's a good hedge against inflation. If you look at this chart, you can see that over time, gold has been very volatile. And in the 70s, it did serve as a reasonable hedge against inflation. However, now in 2020s, with this recent round of inflation we had, it has not been that great of a inflation hedge. In addition, if you look at just the pure returns, like on this chart here, the S&P 500 has returned 10.5% in 100 years on average since 1926. And in the last 30 years, the S&P 500 is up 233%. At the same time, GLD is the largest gold ETF exchange traded fund, and it's been up 73%. So look at the difference between 233 and 73. Not a good inflation hedge, not easy to carry, easy to be stolen, at risk, hard to insure. So it's got some significant downsides. I do like to build some portfolios and put in an allocation because it's a lower correlated asset, typically meaning when stocks go up, bonds would go down, or maybe when gold goes up is when stocks go down. So if it's an inverse relationship, you can put in low correlated assets and tend to smooth out the returns of a portfolio over time. It's an interesting idea. It doesn't pay dividends, it's hard to store, hard to own. Unless you own it in ETF, then it's easy. So I would put up maybe 3%. More than that, I think you're concentrating too much. And by the way, how do you know if it's palladium or platinum or pork bellies that's going to do better? So my recommendation would be to have a globally allocated portfolio, keep it low cost, broadly diversified, make sure it ties back to your financial plan. And by the way, if you need help with the financial plan, feel free to give me a call, schedule a get acquainted meeting via our website is the most easy way to do it. And then when you and I can build you a financial plan, make your investment strategy align with that. And if you need to, maybe we can put in a 3% allocation to gold. Anyway, thanks for taking the time to watch. I appreciate your time. Thank you. Bye-bye.